Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, I'm going to let you in on a really cool secret. It's a secret that's hidden inside every single story you read, and it's what makes sentences work. Ready to go on an adventure? Let's do it.
So, first things first, I've got a question for you. Think about your absolute favorite story. Could be from a book, maybe a movie you love. What does it really need to have to be a great story? What makes it so fun to read or watch?
That's it. You got it. Every single story, whether it's a huge book or just one tiny sentence, needs two things. It needs a hero, that's who the story is all about, and it needs an action, something that our hero actually does. It's really that simple. Now, to really see how this works, let's make up our own little story. Let's meet our main character, a very fluffy and very friendly rabbit named Bunny. And where does Bunny live? He lives in a big, beautiful house, just like one you might see in your own neighborhood, called Onan Bungalow. So here's our story. It's a beautiful sunny morning, and our pal Bunny is outside in the garden. And what's he up to? Well, our sentence tells us, Bunny hops in the garden. There it is, a perfect tiny story. Okay, let's look super closely at that sentence again. Bunny hops in the garden. Even though it's short, can you tell me who is the main character? Who is this tiny story really about? Exactly. It's all about Bunny, of course. So, in the world of sentences, the person or the animal or the thing the sentence is about, we're going to call that our hero. So for this sentence, Bunny is our hero. Now, our hero has a special, official name that you might hear in school. It's called the subject. The subject is just the fancy word for the part that tells us who or what the story is about. So just remember this little trick. Hero means subject. Easy, right? So we found our hero, our subject. That's part one done. But what about part two? What is our hero, Bunny, actually doing? Right? He hops in the garden. That whole second part of the sentence tells us all about what Bunny is up to. This is the action part of our story. It's the part where all the interesting stuff is happening. And you guessed it, the action part has an official name too. It's called the predicate. The predicate is just everything else in the sentence that tells us what our hero, the subject, is doing. So our other trick is, action means predicate. And here's the most important thing to remember. You need both of them. You can't have one without the other. A hero with no action is kind of boring, right? And an action with no hero just doesn't make any sense. A subject and a predicate, a hero and an action, they have to work together to make a whole story. And you can spot this pattern absolutely everywhere. Look at our chart. First we have Bunny, he's the hero, and the action is he hops in the garden. Now look at the next one. Priya's mother is the hero, and what's her action? She cooks yummy food. And last one, the children are our heroes, and their action is they play in the park. See? Every sentence has both parts. You know, you can think of them as the two best teammates. The subject is the teammate who asks, hey, who or what is this story about? And the predicate is the teammate who says, I'll tell you, here's what they're doing. They always have to play on the same team. Okay, want to know a super easy trick to find these parts in any sentence you see? It's like a fun little game with 4 steps. First, just find the main action word, the doing word, like hops or cooks. Step 2, ask yourself who or what is doing that. The answer you get, that's your hero, the subject. And step 4, everything else that's left over is the action part, the predicate. Simple.
You have been learning this so well. I think you've completely figured out the secret. So I think you're ready. It is now your turn to be the storyteller and help me finish some of these stories. You ready for this?
All right, here's our first one. The sentence says, "The blank is our national animal." Who is the very famous and strong hero that belongs in that blank space?
Yes, that's it. The tiger is the subject, the hero of that sentence. Fantastic job, you nailed it. Okay, let's try another one. And a little hint, this time there might be lots of heroes. The sentence is, the blank shine at night. What beautiful things can we see shining up in the night sky?
The stars, absolutely brilliant. The stars are the heroes, the subject of that sentence. You are getting so good at this.
All right, time to switch it up. This time we already know who the heroes are, the children, but we're missing their action. The sentence says, the children are eating blank. What delicious, juicy fruit could they be eating? They are eating watermelon. That whole part, are eating watermelon, that's at the action, the predicate. You see what you just did? You didn't just find a part of a sentence. You helped build a whole story. That is amazing. And that's really the big secret we found out today. Don't ever let those big words like subject and predicate worry you. All you have to remember is that every single sentence is just a mini story with a hero and an action.
So I'm going to leave you with this final challenge. Right now, wherever you are, just take a look around. What tiny story is happening? Maybe the hero is a fan on the ceiling and its action is spinning around. Or maybe the hero is a bird outside your window and its action is singing a song. Stories are everywhere. All you have to do is look for them.